Right, so we're going to make some ghosts on lights. First of all, you need your lights. Now, it was a nightmare trying to find these this year, but I did find some in B&M for £2. Now, we've got 52 micro wire lights, so you don't have to make 52 ghosties. You can always go ghosty, light, ghosty, that sort of thing. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not making 52 ghosties, but whatever you can find, potentially the smallest amount of lights, I would say, you can find. And toothpicks, cocktail sticks, whatever they're called. You need some of those. Now, I don't have any of those, but I do have some of these. And these are the things that you would use to do barbecues. Stick some mushrooms on there. So I'm just going to break up some of those because that's what I've got. If you've got that in the house, then make do with that. So some cocktail sticks, toothpick things, or if you've got that, just break them up to about that size. So we need some of those. I've got some PVA glue in my yogurt pot, just waiting for me to add some water. So some PVA glue and some tin foil. You probably need a bit more than this. Some tin foil, and you need something that's going to stand up the cocktail sticks or the bits of stick. I stole Connor's mosaic grouting sponge. I have to buy him a new one apparently, but there we go. So something that will hold that up. It can be a bit of cork or whatever is easier for you, but I think a sponge is quite good. Might need to put quite a few of them on there, so the bigger the better. And loo roll. You can do this activity with something a bit different to loo roll, but we're just going to do the loo roll ones. And don't forget, if you do buy your lights, they never come with batteries these days, so don't forget your batteries, otherwise you'll have a disappointing finale when you want to make it pretty. So what have we got? We've got our lights, don't forget the batteries. We've got our cocktail sticks or whatever sticks little sticks you've got. Lights, sticks, PVA glue that I'm going to be putting some water in, tin foil, loo roll, and a sponge or something like a sponge that will hold up a load of cocktail sticks. Now, I just happen to strangely have a pair of surgical gloves in my house. I don't even want to imagine why. So I'm going to be putting those on because for once in my life, and this will be the first time, I can't be bothered to get watery PVA on my hands. So if you've got some of that, if you're a bit fussy, like I'm being, that I'm not usually fussy. I would usually just get my hands in, but for some reason I don't want to do that today. Some little gloves, but they're only if you're being extra fussy like me today. So to start with, you've got your little cocktail sticks or whatever you've got. You need to scrumple up some tin foil. Where are you? There you go. And put them on the top of the cocktail stick. Try and make him quite rounded if you can. Don't have to be that big. Try not to poke yourself with the cocktail stick. So we need some of those, a bit like that. Okay. Scrunch it up. Scrunch it up a bit, but then scrunch it when you're actually on the stick so it stays on there. You get the general idea. Right, so I've made about 6 because it's just for demonstration, but you make as many as you want. And I've got some PVA in the bottom of there, and I've put some water in, and I'm stirring it with a plastic spork. Never throw things like this away. If you've had some pasta and it came with some nonsense like this, keep it, because you don't want to be stirring this with your best fork, do you? So you got a craft spork now, so that's what everybody needs. So give that a bit of a stir. So the consistency is runny, but not, it's not, oh no, it is quite runny. I was going to say it's not too runny. That's about right. Too thick and you won't be able to cover your toilet rolls. So now I've got a little tray. I've got 2 for £1 in the pound shop, so that was quite good. Now the good thing about PVA is, even if it drips onto this nice little tray, once it's dry you can peel it off, so it's not too bad. Okay, I've got 2 sheets of loo roll there. One I found, if you just use one at a time, it breaks a bit too easily. Get him covered. I found the easiest way is to do this, otherwise it can break. But if you're using good quality toilet roll, that's probably better. But I'm using rubbish toilet roll, and it's breaking. It breaks, so I'm using 2 at a time, depending on what toilet roll you're using. Okay, and lay him over there. I'm pulling a bit off. There he is, and you can always cut these afterwards. So I'm just laying that one over there like that. Anything that falls off, it's absolutely fine, just put it over here. I'm going to get another couple. Have these already ripped off, not like me. So I've just got another 2, and kind of carefully just getting that covered in the PVA. Like I say, you don't have to wear gloves, but blimey, this is very messy if you don't. And lay him over. Don't worry about bits that fall off, just put them over there. Lay him over. Smooth him out a little bit if he's sticking up a bit. And if you can see some bits that are a bit dry, just go over it with a little bit. You can use a paintbrush. And you can see how he looks already. He's going to be all floaty. Okay, so that's 4 bits of tissue paper on there. Okay. Right, let's do the rest. So let's wait for them to dry. Right, they're dry now. They took a long time. This took overnight, and I put them near a radiator as well. So they are dry. Look at that. So now we need to take out the stick and the tin foil. If they're still not dry, just put them on a radiator or get a hairdryer on them, because they do take longer than you think actually, these. So there's one. Look at that one. We can't see him. Right, so take out the tin foil and the sticks. So once you've taken all the sticks and the tin foil out, get yourself a little black pen or a little bit of black paint, and we will put some eyes and some little mouths on. this is the most fiddly bit of all, I think, getting the holes in your ghost so you can thread your lights through. So I found a big darning needle, or if you've got a smaller needle, just sort of like make it go around in circles to get it quite big. That's probably the right size for the hole, but it's really difficult to get the lights through. So I found putting some scissors in and just making the hole a little bit bigger helps you get the lights through. Now, I learnt the hard way. You make the holes too big, you try and put the ghosts on the lights, and they sort of travel up and down the length of the lights. They sort of don't stay where you want them to stay. So there's a fine line between getting the hole just the right size. But if you do make the hole too big, don't worry, because you can always squish it. It's like squishing his little ear so that he does stay in the right place on your string of lights. That sounds a bit complicated, but you will understand what I mean when you try and give it a go yourself. So try and see, look what I'm doing. I'm doing that with the scissors to make it big enough to get the lights through. But like I say, you do that too big and he will travel up and down the string of lights and not stay where you want him to stay. So it's a fine line. So practice, and don't have a tantrum. If he does travel up and down the string of lights like mine did, you can just squeeze his little ears where you've put the little holes, and he'll stay where you want him to stay. But it's fiddly. It is fiddly. So once you've made your holes, poke him in the right ear, as it were, turn him upside down, and then you can kind of see where he's supposed to come out. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, this bit, but there he is. He's on there. You'll get there. Bit of patience. And don't worry about making them all in the right place with a little light in their little heads at this stage. Just get them on the string. You can always fiddle about with that in a minute. And here they are. All 6 of them. Maybe I'll make 52, but I can't imagine that I will. And look how lovely. They're brilliant, aren't they? And if you don't want them on lights, you can just put them on normal string. Maybe thread the needle with the string would be my advice. And there they are, your homemade little ghosties.